Hey everybody, welcome back to Progressions Archery. My name is Greg. I've been working on getting this barebow thing figured out, and it's kind of a pain, but I've done a lot of slow motion capturing to try to figure out what I'm doing wrong or what I could fix. And so here we go. I'm going to kind of walk through what's been happening. Um, I know the video quality isn't amazing, but I'm trying to really get to the point where I can get some better groups. I think a lot of my issues have been uh, that my bow's not tuned up properly, and really I don't know exactly how to tune it up perfectly. It's only like $100 riser and $100 limbs, so there's only so much I can do um, to make them look right. And these first couple shots here um, are before I started figuring out a couple of the issues I was having. This one's a bare shaft, and it's flying a little bit better. It's really cool to see them, flop back and forth the way they do with that Archer's paradox. And I'm going to do a couple little freeze frames up here that show an issue I was having that ended up being the root of some other issues as well. So as you see right here, it's sitting on the knock. The knock and the knock point are touching. But as I release, boom, look at that. The knock skipped down below the knock and point. And so this is going to cause tons and tons of irregularity in flight. Um, it seems like every time I release, there's a wave that goes up and down the string as it's also moving forward towards the riser. And if it's not, being pushed out of that string the same direction, all kind of stuff is going to happen that's wrong. So here in a couple um, minutes, I'm going to show some video. Oh, look at that! I didn't even realize when this happened that the string hit that arm guard. Um, I guess I got really lucky that I get slapped in the arm. Not the greatest release in the world. But I do make some changes. I got some upcoming little shots here. And something else I figured out while I was doing all this is, look at that, the little left right from poor releases with my fingers. Um, One of the things I found out is that I was grazing the riser with my fletching. And I figured out that by spraying a bunch of like foot powder on the riser to see if I was getting any contact. And I started having stripes all across the vertical of my riser. And so I had to go back in and fix that as well. So it was a combination of fixing a knocking point, adding a top and bottom, to make sure that it stays in the same place where I want it, and then adjusting my center shot. And I did that center shot stuff with I showed it in a previous video where I set the arrows up vertically along the sides of the riser um, with some rubber bands to show where center was. And so that's how I got to that point. See, now I've got a piece underneath that brass knocking point to keep that knock in the right spot on the string. But I noticed that I was tail high sometimes, not that particular one, but a lot of times I was tail high. And so I ended up moving the brass knock underneath, and that helped a little bit, but I still don't think it's 100% perfect. Um, a little bit every day making progress is really the only goal I have. There's a release up here that I'm really, really proud of, and it probably one of the best shots I've ever had. Granted, I don't know if the arrow did exactly what I wanted to. You can see in this one how my elbow is coming forward before I even release, collapsing, which is not good form. Don't copy that. I think it's this next one that looks a lot better. But I do like all these slow-mo videos. It's really, really cool to see the arrow do what it's doing and seeing the string flopping all over the place. I imagine a lot more consistency can be had with the Olympic folks when they've got the sight and the bars and all that. They can pull the string directly behind the knock every time rather than having a string walk and get that wave effect I was talking about. Now that's just about a good release there, but I think it might be this one right here. Oh, here we go. I'm expanding, expanding, elbow coming back. That felt good. I remember that when I try to repeat that exact same form through. Now I don't know if it's perfect, but it felt right. And so by this point, I have changed my knocking point twice, fixed my center shot, and then I start messing around with my plunger, trying to get it sorted out right. There's another little collapse as I'm releasing the string. Not terrible flight. I did notice too, watching a lot of these, I don't know if it's something to do with my grip or the way I'm releasing it, face pressure or what, but by the time a lot of them get down there towards the target, they end up gradually moving to where the tail is off to the left. Not all of them, but a lot of them end up doing that. And I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if it's a center shot thing or if it's a bad release. I'm putting some weird pressure. I know the Barebow thing is like you just endlessly tinker. And it's really frustrating because, I look at video here and everything looks so, woebegone. It's all, who knows what's going to happen. And then I go shoot my compound and everything is very precise. Everything is, I'm pulling the arrow back on the string right in the perfect spot. Everything is uh, adjustable to the 10th degree. It's so small little adjustments, and you can really dial in a compound. Now, dialing in a Barebow, this is daunting, and I'm trying not to get frustrated with it. But again, I don't have any other resources than a book that I bought and asking questions on Facebook pages and archery talk, things like that. Um, got into a huge debate recently with I wasn't really debating. I was just kind of posing the question about knock, not knock tuning, but spine aligning all the arrows, and everyone's got their own opinions about that. But um, I figure every little thing you can do to help make your setup better, the better you're going to shoot. A lot of times I'm relaxing my hand and that string is moving forward, and that's one of those things you can pick up from doing all this slow mo stuff. You don't really realize you're doing it. You're out there on the line, but I'm seeing so many little errors in my form that I'm trying to fix, and so I'm going to go out to get there again at some point and do some more slow mo filming and see if my form's improving. I've been doing a lot of work with a mirror where I'm facing the mirror to make sure that my draw arm is getting to a point where it's in line with the tip of the arrow, all the way out to my elbow, straight line there, um, and then worrying about that compression in my back or expansion in my chest, whichever one you choose to subscribe to. I think about that while not relaxing my hand too much, but also I don't want to to feel like I'm plucking the string, so there's this balance between all that. So you can see here I've definitely gotten that brass down underneath that additional tied in knocking point. And I'm starting to feel like this bow is shooting a little bit better now. I'm still going to tinker some more with it, certainly. And I did take off the grip, and I just have the bare riser with some high-speed tape wrapped around it because I didn't like how wide this grip was. It didn't feel comfortable in my hand, and my compound bow has a real narrow grip on it too. So I'm liking the way it's feeling now without that little plastic grip on there. But yeah, so this is all that slow mo footage I've been doing. And if you see something I'm doing that's all jacked up, please let me know in the comments. I appreciate any bit of insight I can get. Thank you all very much. Take care.